and more vultures kind of pinning to the north. Iris just trying to buy himself some time to, I think he's actually got the reinforcements to kind of defend his front door now at this stage, but he can't really, I'm not sure that he can think about taking an expansion, and vultures managed to sneak through for Iris while Nada was being aggressive on the front, and those SCVs going to end up getting taken out. So Nada losing the initiative here. Tanks now wandering back to try to take care of those SCVs. They are at least blocking that ramp, so good play by Nada to at least minimize the attack there, but that's going to put Iris back in the economic lead. Now I think he's got the opportunity to take an additional expansion. But the X factor here, 4-port Wraith into the mid game, and he's only got 2 gas, so he's going to have to completely halt all of his tank production. He's going to have to completely halt all of his Goliath production. Okay, he's actually canceled it down to it looks like just 3-star ports, but he's going to just go very, very heavy Wraith now. And the question is will this be spotted out? Nada running out with another group of vultures out into the field. Let's see what he can get done with them. Wow, a lot of tanks kind of over that cliffside edge, so Iris in a pretty good defensible position. Ooh, looks like those Wraith being produced. The question is how much damage can Nada do with these Wraith, and is it going to be worth the gas? He's only got a single SCV actually on gas, it looks like, at the secondary. I'm not sure if that's a mental error, if that's intentional here at this stage of the game, and he needs to be very careful here because it looks like Iris again being aggressive. This is his signature berserker maneuver where he just, if he has troops on the ground, he's going to push you. He's going to make sure that you pay for it. Going to use this also to help establish that 6 o'clock, well, that inside 6 location. Nada has plenty of troops to really help defend this, and those Wraith are definitely going to help assist as well. And Iris being a little too aggressive, doesn't want to go up that ramp like that. But this is the X factor. Nada investing everything into Wraith here into the mid game, and that's going to really reduce the amount of tanks he's got to basically defend. So it's got to be, I'm not sure if I like this maneuver because he's really got to inflict a lot of damage to delay this command center of his, because this isn't really going to help him establish any ground. So it's got to be kind of a supplemental force where with his Wraith, with his tanks, he's able to push and either take out the expansion of Iris while establishing an expansion of his own, or just push into the main. And I think Iris might just have too many tanks, just outnumbering tanks for Nada really to make use of this, unfortunately. And a couple vultures able to take, those vultures going to get hunted down and pinned in the corner, running up to the north. Just about 5-6 Wraith there, so at the very least he might be able to wipe out Iris's attack force, and you can see Iris trying to establish position over that inside 12 to make sure he can't take that expansion. Fortunately he's shooting uphill, so going to lose a couple tanks there, and I've got an Iris, yeah, it's got to sniff it out there. He's like, that was way too few tanks there to really, and he's now upgrading, I think, the Charon booster. I think he's felt the Wraith attack now coming, realizing that there's just too few tanks in that defense. Now he's pushing forward. He also sees that that command center is not up, and when you don't see a command center and you don't see a lot of tanks on the ground, you know that there's something at least in the air coming your direction. So getting that Charon booster upgrade, he does have 5, and these tanks completely exposed to these Wraith. Let's see, yeah, it looks like Nada is going to dedicate the time to take these out. Goliath's not in position to really help defend just yet, but really I don't know that Nada should be bothering as much with these tanks in the forward field. I think he should maybe just be pressing down, deal with the tanks later down the line, and well, it looks like he can do both at the same time, so ignore me, but it looks like he's going to press with that attack force again, try to take out that inside 6 while he's taking that command center of his own right now. He is going to be able to wipe out that entire attack force. There, the Goliath pushing up. Not sure that cloaking's upgraded. Clearing those mines uphill, able to take all but just 3 tanks, and it looks like this might pay off. There's a lot of tanks there to the south, and we'll see with those Wraith spotting if he's going to be able to take them all out. Iris in a bit of a vulnerable position here. Cloaking not upgraded. He didn't put down basically a control tower to provide cloaking as well, so Nada going to be held up short, and this is disastrous for Nada. Nada needs to push in now. Goliath going a little bit too far out. Iris making a little bit of a micro mistake there and not able to pull his Goliath back. Able to pick off a couple Wraith though. And it looks like Nada was not able to push up position. He's not able to take out that 6. He is going to be able to establish an expansion of his own. Unfortunately, though, that wasn't enough. He invested so heavily in that. He's got so fewer tanks. I don't know the difference. He took out 6 tanks, yes, and he still has the Wraith in the air, yes, but I don't know that that was enough to make up for the fact that how many basically tanks he does not have now. And the fact that he wasn't able to take out an expansion. Iris already has an expansion up. He's going to be in a great position, especially with some Goliath support. Looks like he's getting a starport to get some of those additional upgrades to really take the solid economic lead. He's already in a great economic position, so I'm not sure I like that decision making from Nada. Nada now trying to get a control tower down to get some cloaking upgrade, but let's see what he can do. Nada's got to get aggressive now. got to get aggressive now and do something to either get an additional expansion or do something. But Iris, knowing it, he's just going to run up, put the pressure on it. It looks like he's going to try to go over that northern flank. Nada getting a little, he needs to be careful because he might get caught out of position. It looks like Nada's going to try to pull that same trick to the south. And 2 siege tanks, using that little, using a little map artifact there to create a little bit of a mischance fire. The Wraith going up over that edge. Let's see if they can take that Goliath out. And a couple of the Goliaths getting taken out. Just 3 siege tanks there. SCV's getting shelled and there's no tank support. But Iris looks like going across that northern edge. I don't think Nada has any defense at his home base really to fight this off. He's not going to be able to get that command center, that newly planted command center, up and running. You can see he's just got a few scattered forces as Iris is bringing his entire attack force to the front, and there goes that command center. So I think Iris has locked this game at this point. Pretty nice tactical maneuvering, I have to say, on Iris's. And maybe if Nada can run up and pick off that command center, he'll be able to equalize things a little bit, but there's still that difference in mining time overall. Nada getting aggressive now. I think he realizes he's kind of in a bad situation, so he's going to try to loop around and try to push around. Looks like he might be able to establish position. Maybe if he can contain Iris in his base with this siege tank force, he'll be able to do something. But there's still that large attack force to the south that's pushing up. It looks like they're sieging now, but that's just overwhelming forces. Those tanks not going to be able to accomplish a lot there. And he's going to end up getting pinned here in a moment between 2 large attack forces, one coming from the north. SCV's actually coming off the line here to kind of thin that out, and the other attack force here coming from the center of the map, basically. The Wraith just pounding away at that command center now. But I think Iris can afford to lose this where Nada could not afford to lose his. I think Nada's going to actually get starved out here in a second. He's got to be low on gas. His main's got to be thin. His secondary's got to be wearing down a little bit as well, and he hasn't been able to establish anything else. It looks like, yeah, he's got that floating command center still out there, whereas Iris has been able to establish himself across. He does have another command center out in the field. Looks like SCV's transferring. This could be critical, though, if those Wraith can pick off those SCVs transferring to that 9 o'clock position, or maybe even pick that command center off. If he can pick that command center off, that would actually be great. That could really put him back in this game, and it looks like Iris is not sinking it. He can't because there's a mine underneath. He's going to try to bring all those SCVs. Nice reaction time there, bringing all those SCVs off. And let's see if a little bit of cloaking will be able to save this. Just group repairing that command center, and this is huge. And he's going to bleed some Wraith as well, and that hurts a lot. Nada now trying to cycle back around, and I think that was it. I think that was Nada's last breath there, but he's going to continue to fight on. So, a couple looks like vultures trying to sneak around, but running right into some siege tanks. But Iris has the map initiative. He has additional expansions. Nada's got to outmaneuver him somehow, or come in with another attack from some location. He's trying to establish that 9 o'clock, but just can't because Iris is already right there. 3 Wraith going to be able to run up and take those tanks at the position, but more vultures running in to kind of support this, and those Wraith aren't going to be able to take down those vultures fast enough to really defend the NCVs on the transfer. So the command center will be established, but he's not really going to be able to mine out of it, and it looks like those vultures might be able to run out and just take the tanks out as well. Let's see if he can focus fire. Isn't able to focus fire that Goliath, which really would have been in the key there. It looks like he's going to end up losing a couple more troops than he wanted to. Now trying to focus in on those Goliaths, able to take one out, but a large attack force from Iris that was already out in the field. I think that was that same attack force that was in the middle of the map, able to push in to the 3 o'clock, and now Nada is going to get starved out and maybe at risk of just getting run over. And that was the difference there. Just that switching into Wraith just did not have enough tanks to really defend himself and attack at the same time. Really risky play, didn't really pay off. Looks like he's going to try to test that northern boundary, maybe take that out, but in the meantime Iris has the additional base, is in a nice economic lead, is going to be able to continue to keep the troop count up. You can see those factories just sitting there producing all sorts of troops, and just look at the green on the map compared to the teal on the opposite side. Now Nada running into a fixed position, unfortunately. Yeah, a little bit of a micro error there, losing some tanks needlessly, running into a quick fixed position, which he did not want to do. Maybe if he uses that command center to spot and runs up this time, he can do something, or use an SCV or two to try to absorb the first bit of tank fire. Looks like he is in fact doing that, but still not able to really. He's going to try it again. Now he's going to try to run in. So little bit of nice attack there. The Wraith getting picked off very quickly. SCV's running up. This is just desperation attacks. Nada is going to be able to clear this off, but it's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory because it looks like another attack force coming across the south to again just reabsorb, well, I should say reestablish position there across that command center. That command center still taking hits. That single Wraith trying to do damage here. And Iris now in a firm position, just going to take over the map. Not going to be able to catch up economically. And now it's just kind of textbook Terran contain, Terran build up stuff. Go Terran. So, yeah, it should be pretty easy win here for Iris, and all he has to do is keep harassing Nada like this, make sure Nada can't get back in the game doing something silly. SCV's mulling around a bit, like, oh, take fire, where's that coming from? I don't know, I think it's somewhere over there. Guy explodes next to him, oh! And the Vulture's able to run in. This is what I like about Iris, is even when he's got a solid lead, he does not sit on it. He does not give his opponent any breathing room. He continues to press forward, continues to be aggressive. He's going to end up losing some Goliaths here. Sometimes that can be his weakness.